Behind me lies the haunted railway tunnel of Bridgnorth, and tonight on Halloween we're teaming up with M&A Paranormal in an attempt to uncover the truth about this place.
This is the small Shropshire town of Bridgnorth. Underneath these historic streets lies its reportedly very haunted railway tunnel. In 1849, the Severn Valley Railway Company was formed with a single goal to create a new line running between Hartlebury and Shrewsbury, covering a distance of 40 miles. The initial cost of creating the railway line was estimated at around £600,000. This caused major issues and setbacks for the engineer John Fowler, who eventually, just before the scheme was nearly scrapped, managed to convince the contractors to agree to accept shares in the company as part payment for their work. Work on the line finally got underway in 1858 with the aim of being finished in 2 years. However, the line wasn't declared fit for passenger traffic until the 15th of January 1861. With the tunnel itself standing at 15 feet wide, 16 feet high and 559 yards long. After World War II, the traffic on the line started to fall away, and it was eventually closed in 1963. Today, this fantastic feat of engineering is fenced off to the public, forgotten, and the line itself overgrown where the tracks once lay. Very few people know about its existence, as its location is not easily accessible. However, those that do know of the tunnel often speak of its darker tales of death and the paranormal.
So tonight's investigation will actually mark the very first time that we've collaborated with another paranormal group. Tonight at the Bridgnorth Tunnel, we're collaborating with Morris and Anderson Paranormal, a local ghost hunting group based in Shropshire. So this tunnel at Bridgnorth, once part of the Severn Valley Railway, is actually home to many ghost stories, especially amongst the locals. Now, probably the most famous of these ghost stories was the one about a young Home Guard officer who, during the last World War, was sat outside this tunnel guarding. Now, it wasn't until he turned round and saw from the depth of those tunnels behind me that there was a white figure starting to come forward, closer and closer and closer. Now, as you can imagine, he got a bit panicked. He picked up his rifle and he ordered the figure to stop. However, the figure didn't stop and he kept coming forward and forward. It got so much to the point where the figure was dead on at the end of the rifle and mysteriously just vanished right in front of his eyes. That left him in a bit of a fright. One of the other well-known stories that happened here is the story about a group of youths who was once playing in this tunnel behind me, and they were actually letting off fireworks. Bit of a silly idea. But Once they were in there on their own, letting off their fireworks, again, from the depths of the tunnel behind them, they saw a white figure starting to come towards them. It was at this point they looked behind, saw the figure, and scarpered as quick as they came in. There's also a rumour about the construction of this tunnel, where a construction worker was apparently killed by a cart. Now, unfortunate in death, maybe his spirit was the one that lingers on here, and maybe his spirit is the one that the Home Guard officer saw, and perhaps even the children playing in this area.
And do my graveyard smash. You'll catch all in a flash. Then you can munch.
So me guys, happy Halloween. We're just on to our next location now, episode 4. This is going to be the haunted, abandoned, sealed up railway tunnel, and this is in Bridgnorth. We're actually going to go and meet another paranormal group tonight, which is Morris and Anderson Paranormal. So we're excited to go meet them guys.
Go guys, happy Halloween!
So stick with it guys, and we're going to use these to scare the crap out of them. See you later.
Here are the 4 locked off cameras we'll be using throughout tonight's investigation. Camera 1 is facing our Savannah Dole on the south portal. Camera 2 is at the south side of the tunnel, facing north. Camera 3 is in the centre of the tunnel, facing the south portal. And camera 4 is also in the centre of the tunnel, covering our trigger object, the motion sensor. Right guys, here we are with M&A Paranormal.
Right
This
guys.
is Chris, Shell,
Hi.
and sadly we've brought Brian with us
Sadly.
as well. Right, Brian and Shell are going to go off, and what are you guys going to do?
Well, we've got a K2 meter. We're going to do some EVPs as well. And whatever else. See what happens, I guess.
And me and Chris are going to do some proper ghost hunts. We'll do things properly.
Oh, yes.
Can I ask who you are, please?
Whoa. Whoa. What was that? That sounded full on structural, that did.
This is out because it was male. And
Listen.
the guy that's saying murder and blood is a guy coming through on there. So there's obviously someone who's not particularly happy here.
Did you hear a breath like a...
I heard that.
There's obviously someone who's not particularly happy here.
Did you hear a breath like a...
I heard that. I thought it was one of you
I
guys.
thought it was one of you guys.
No. Right, so far we've had a bit of a feel for the tunnel. Chris and Nathan have been towards the entrance, whilst myself and Michelle have been in the middle towards the back where we are now. Me and Nathan have returned to the very end of the tunnel, where our trigger object Savannah is nicely sat. And we're going to do something which is going to be a first, aren't we, for us tonight?
Yeah, well, first thing I'm going to do, I'm obviously I'm carrying this K2 meter. So I'm actually going to set that up back here. Just in front of Savannah, I don't know if you can see that.
If you could hear that, by the way, that's Chris and Shell performing a spirit box right at the other side of the tunnel.
So K2 set up in front of Savannah. Yeah, Brian's right, we want to do something a bit different tonight. It's a very, very old railway tunnel. So we thought, why not bring an old method of ghost hunting with us? So what we've actually done is brought a pendulum. We'll ask a few questions, see if we can get a few responses, and yeah, see how it goes. When doing a pendulum, you always ask correct answers, or answers that you know the correct answer to first, and see which motion it swings in, or so I've been told. So the first question I'd like to ask, is my name Nathan? See the movement in that?
Didn't take long, did it? So
I'm
it appears...
trying to hold my hand as steady as possible. Is my name Nathan? It's going left to right.
So...
It's like a clock ticking left to right. That's... Whoa.
That's picking up some...
Okay, thank you for that. Am I a female?
You see, I just changed
See, I
straight
changed.
away.
It's going in a circle.
Instant change. So we've got responses already.
See, I really didn't buy into this, but I can't understand that. I really can't. Unless once again it's something to do with the emotive effect. I am trying my utmost not to move that.
Do you want to try one more question just to...
Right, can I just confirm, is my name Nathan?
Okay.
That's unreal.
Without any hesitation.
That is unreal. There are two of us here.
That hasn't changed, it's just got
It's
a bit...
actually swinging stronger.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got stronger. So... just gone very cold.
I've gone extremely cold.
There was like an actual... We've been in here now for probably about an hour and a half, but I've just had like a gust.
It feels strange. It almost feels like there's something pulling on the end of it. Are you a female spirit? Did you die here? That's changed. Was yes to female, no to die here. Did you live here?
That's a no, isn't it? It's spinning.
I don't know. Is your body buried here?
I've gone freezing cold again.
That's saying yes.
No, if I've gone really cold.
That's saying yes.
Buried here. So you wonder if there was something else here before the tunnels. What would have been here?
Was there a graveyard here? Yes. Did this tunnel disturb any graves when it was being made?
Look at the strength of that.
That is crazy. Is that why you're angry? I've gone tingling all over. Is that why you're angry? Because it disturbed the graves?
I have gone...
Oh mate, that is crazy.
I've gone freezing cold.
My hand is not moving, look at that.
I feel like a block of ice all around me.
That is crazy. Thank you for your answers. Right guys, we've just... To be honest, we're a little bit shocked. We've just tried the pendulum method and it's the first time we've ever tried it. And I mean, there is no breeze in this tunnel whatsoever, but the strength that was pulling in.
There has been no breeze, and we're right at the back of it, which is sealed up behind you, obviously. There's no way for any breeze to come all the way back here. But when that pendulum was moving I was icy cold filming you. And it felt like a breeze all around me, but it's been the only time.
Well, I want to ask a few questions after that. I want to delve a bit deeper here. So I want to use the EVP device and see what I can get. Please, if you can hear my voice, talk back to me. Tell me if graves were disturbed here. Tell me why you haunt here.
I think I just heard something.
I heard a breath behind you.
Don't say that, because that's what I heard. Yeah.
Right behind you. But it was literally just as I clicked the stop button.
Yeah, I heard
Maybe
it as
the
well.
camera might have picked it up. We'll have to check that one.
Please, if you can hear my voice, talk back to me. Tell me if graves were disturbed here. Tell me why you haunt here.
Did you just make a breath behind Brian? Speak into this device I'm holding. Come to this light and speak to us. Tell us what you want to say.
Did you just make a breath behind Brian? Speak into this device I'm holding. Come to this light. Speak to us. Tell us what you want to say.
Something touching my back.
It's funny because the noises I've heard have come from behind you.
Something's touching my back, even now.
I'll ask one more question. We've tried communicating repeatedly. Answer me this. Do you mean us harm?
We've tried communicating repeatedly. Answer me this. Do you mean us harm?
Does anybody here come and play with the doll we've put on the floor? Her name's Savannah. There's a little light on her. Go towards that light. Touch her hair and her face. Right guys, we're going to perform a spirit box session now. We're probably just over halfway down the tunnel, aren't we now?
Yeah, we're about halfway down. The spirit box in here will be an interesting one because obviously, as we've explained before, the spirit box runs off radio signals. However, deep inside an old railway tunnel, there shouldn't be any at all. So any voices that may decide to come through on this bit of kit would be quite, well, yeah, wouldn't expect any really.
No, it would be particularly strange, wouldn't it?
So if the spirits do use this and do use the radio signals and the white noise to come through, it will be an interesting response. So I'm going to set this thing off.
Just a note to you guys, whilst we're sitting here doing a bit of Echobox on our own, it almost sounded like one of your cameras made like a zoom in, zoom out noise. I'm just wondering if you're going to pick that up at some point when you do analysis.
That's weird.
That's really peculiar. They shouldn't make any noise at all. Cheers for letting us know.
Right, so we're going to set off this spirit box. As I said, we shouldn't really get any sort of radio signals in here, so any voices that do come through, well, be very peculiar. So we'll start this off. And we just did a pendulum and made contact with a lady. Are you here with us now? Or are there any other spirits in this tunnel with us? Can you tell us your name? What's your name?
Are you buried here? We've been told that there's a lot of activity here, that there's an angry lady here. We've come to find out why. Tell us your story.
Did the construction of this tunnel disturb your grave? Are you now restless, haunting this tunnel? Are we disrespecting you? Do you want us to leave?
Now's your chance to communicate. If you're angry, tell us why.
Fucking hell. I've just seen the face behind you.
Are you joking?
I fucking ain't joking, no.
Was it male or female?
I don't fucking know. I think it was a male. Whatever it was fucking white. Oh shit.
Brian's just had a massive fright. He's just seen a white face appear directly behind me, if you heard us shouting.
Literally, because I've just gone off on my own, and before I did so, I asked anybody if this was their chance to make
It's strange because we done a pendulum session and the thing was going absolutely crazy, and the questions we asked, it seemed like somebody was buried here, and the construction. When I asked if the construction destroyed their grave, the thing started going absolutely crazy.
It would make a lot of sense, because they weren't too concerned with that in them days. They didn't really stop to think about it.
Whoa, fuck me.
It makes a lot of sense.
What?
There's Sorry, I missed off that. There's a massive beam of light just went straight across the wall then.
Yeah, I think I kind of picked one up here as well. Do be aware it has gone midnight, so shit is going to kick off. It's going to kick off now.
I'll be
What was
honest.
that? What was that?
The first time I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
What was that noise then?
Whoa, K2's going off on Savannah.
It is.
K2.
Well spotted. If there's anyone here, set that green light. Set it to red. You know you can do it, because you did it a minute ago. Unless that's you being mischievous, Savannah. Set the green light to red for us. Show us that you're here. Right guys, don't know if you can see me okay. I can't see myself. But been quite an eventful night so far. Quite slow at the beginning, but we've just had a lot of things happen in a short space of time. I've just seen an apparition over the shoulder of Nathan. Of what looked to be a male figure, a male face. Did startle me quite a lot, I'm not going to lie. And then after that we've heard a lot of movement at the very far edge of the tunnel, followed by the K2 meter spiking. Whilst doing the EVP sessions as well, it seemed that whilst I was holding the camera filming Nathan, there was a lot of cold blows almost. Even though we're at the back of the tunnel, it's all sealed up. there's no draft that we felt it on any other occasion apart from now. So that was quite peculiar. And also I felt almost a bit of touch movement. So basically feels like my back's been touched a few times whilst I've been holding the camera, and kind of feel like I've been watched slightly. So
Right.
aside from that, quite calm.
Really?
Apart from you can't see where you're walking in here.
Right.
Why don't you ask if they died during the war? Or is that a shit idea?
Well, thinking about it, this tunnel was built a long, long time before the war.
Before the
Now, if
war?
the building of this tunnel disturbed graves. Now, I'm going to have to check that up. I'm going to have to check that up. What I will say is this goes all the way underneath Bridgnorth. Now, we're at the low part of Bridgnorth. The higher part of Bridgnorth, which is technically directly above us, is where the church and graveyard is, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So depending on how old the church was, or if there's a church building there prior, or there was bodies buried there prior, digging this out, whoa, that feels like it's swinging in my hand then.
Well, it's definitely moving.
Whoa, what the hell? Have you got that?
I've got that moving, yeah.
I was talking then, look at that. Am I correct in what I just said? Oh mate, what's
Do you know
going
what?
on?
It ain't moved that far before.
Mate, were you buried in the church? Were you buried in the graveyard above us? And this is why you're angry?
Anymore.
right.
That's going to be horizontal if it carries
I'm
on.
shitting myself now.
Keep it going, you're doing awesome.
We need to let you know that we agree your body should never have been moved.
Do you know what? Just saying, I've gone icy cold again, and that this happened earlier when we did the pendulum.
Are all the spirits that are here, are you all from the church? Are you all from the graveyard? I think that's the answer.
Graveyard spirits.
Thank you so much for your answers. Thank you. Chris, can you hear me? We were just talking between ourselves about what we got earlier on the pendulum, and we were talking about the graveyard above, obviously up Hightown, the church. We were wondering if there was an older church there, or if there's an older burial ground up there. And as I was talking, I wasn't actually doing the pendulum, it just started swinging in my hand, crazy.
Interestingly enough, you talked about being buried, and I'm running a word generator app here, and I've just got the word Blackheart, buried, Anthony, Tone, and State.
Interesting, it was linked.
That's really peculiar. When I started to ask questions after that happened, I asked if all the spirits that are here, if it's from a graveyard above.
Okay, we're going to come down to you for a sec. I want to see if we can bring a conclusion to this.
Okay, brilliant. I feel like
That was some crazy movement to be
we've
fair.
genuinely unearthed something. We'll have to send you the footage out just so you can see, because that was...
Pretty incredible.
There's sort of a space of about 5, well you probably do this radio, about 5 sort of 10 minutes. I think it's really, really picked up.
Yeah.
Before that, there was quite... Another thing that happened is I rested the K2 meter on Savannah's lap. And what were we doing at the point?
It was after I saw a face behind
It
you.
was after you said you saw a face behind me and started freaking out. And I turned to my left, we sort of stood probably just here.
You said you saw a light on the ceiling.
It sort of went probably halfway up on the K2. But there was nothing there that would set the K2 off. It's just a porcelain doll, you know what I mean?
There's nothing in this tunnel that would set that K2 off. Young lady, I heard you on my Echovox. I heard you speak. Do you like the dolly? Don't be afraid of me or anyone around me. They won't hurt you. Why don't you come and play with the dolly again? I know you like it. I know my nieces and nieces would like it.
Something just went off there.
Did it?
It sounded like one of our cameras going off again. I just got a female voice coming through on the walkie-talkie then.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I swear to God, just as you finished talking, a female voice said something through the walkie-talkie. All three of us heard it.
Right guys, that closes our investigation at the Bridgnorth Tunnel. We want to thank M&A Paranormal for the opportunity for tonight, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, cheers for
Great.
everything,
Really
guys.
good
Appreciate
night.
it.
It's been good fun. Check out our channel, we'll leave the link in the description box below, and make sure you subscribe and check them out.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.